I'm Cleo Green alongside meteorologist Kyle Roberts, and definitely talking about this Arctic blast. Kylie told you I've lived and worked in Minneapolis for about 5 years or so, and this is Minneapolis weather right now.
Well, this is just, typical January day for them. Yeah,
absolutely right.
Yeah, absolutely. So the cold air, no doubt you noticed it when it arrived yesterday, kind of late afternoon, evening. All of a sudden it got windy and a lot cooler out. And then if you're out yesterday evening and night, it was quite cold, and starting the day this morning, very cold here in North Texas.
Cold.
Yeah, Arctic air is here. We're going to be talking some wintry weather potential a little bit later on today and into tonight. That's why a winter weather advisory in place for almost all of North Texas. Starts at noon today, runs until noon tomorrow. Does not include far western and northwestern North Texas. And winter storm warning, which is kind of a step up from a winter weather advisory in place for portions of East Texas and over into the Arctic, so a little bit worse conditions likely in those areas. We'll come back to that in a second. In the meantime, we need to talk about the cold this morning. Single digits, actual temps, not wind chill. 8 in Bowie, 9 in Gainesville, 9 in Graham, 11 in Fort Worth this morning, 14 in Dallas. But of course, when you factor in the wind, this is what it feels like. Well below 0 wind chills across northern and western North Texas. Even Fort Worth feeling like 6 below. Remember, if you're headed to church this morning, this is what you need to dress for. And by the way, it's dry this morning, so head to church if you want to. Just dress very, very warm if you're going to do that. Any wintry weather holds off until later on today. There might be a few flurries up to Wichita Falls, maybe a few flurries along the Red River as we head through the morning. I'm not confident that all of that is actually reaching the ground, though, what you're seeing on radar. What I'm more concerned with is some spotty freezing drizzle developing a little later on today, especially for the southern half of North Texas, but most of today will be dry. And then this evening into tonight, kind of that freezing drizzle, maybe some sleet, starts to increase in coverage a little bit. There you go as we head into the late night hours, especially from the DFW area off to the east. A little sleet and snow mixture across the Red River. Some sleet showers, maybe a little freezing rain to start the day tomorrow, but all this quickly moves off to the east. So I don't see a situation where DFW is just entombed in ice, but I do see a situation where you got, some light icing amounts, especially on those bridges and overpasses, elevated surfaces tonight and into tomorrow morning. A little higher ice totals for eastern and southeastern areas. If we can get a transition to some sleet, maybe it's a tenth, a quarter inch of some sleet, a little higher sleet and snow totals off to the northeast there. Of course, it will stay cold throughout the day today. Your wind chills will be in the single digits most of the day, and your high will only be in the low 20s later on this afternoon. Of course, the cold's going to be sticking around for a few days. We'll talk about when we're finally going to be back above freezing. I have another cold around air headed our way later this week, and also some rain in our extended forecast. I'll have all that and more coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Kyle, thank you. Right now, we're going to take a live look at our airports. DFW International, Dallas Love Field, definitely a cold start to the morning, as you said. Dallas Love Field, they tweeted that our team is monitoring the weather and stands ready to treat and clear surfaces to allow for safe operations. And, as of early Saturday evening, more than 1,200 flights across the country were canceled. 4,700 flights were delayed. That's according to FlightAware. And I'm looking at the misery map right now. There's quite a few delays out of Dallas Love Field, about 80 cancellations as well. We'll keep you updated throughout the show. Let's take a live look right now at 6:35 at Hillcrest. We are expecting freezing rain and sleet tonight into Monday morning, so travel issues are almost certain, all right? The next 3 days have weather alerts in place to warn you of dangerous cold and ice on the roads. TxDOT crews, they do have a plan in place. They've been covering highways and our interstates with brine across North Texas. This is like an antifreeze. And today, crews will transition to 24/7 operations. So this morning, we're going to have Val Lopez join us on the phone here from TxDOT's Fort Worth district, joining us here. Val, are you there?
Morning, Cleo.
Glad to have you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Yes, your crews, they have been aggressive in their approach to pre-treat North Texas highways and interstates. What's that entail?
Right. Well, when we enter the winter weather season, we keep a really close eye on the forecast. And everyone was saying that a chance for winter weather to occur was going to happen this weekend, early next week. So starting midweek around Wednesday, we started dispatching crews to treat our system with brine. Brine is that salt water combination. People see that on the highways. That's 5 or 6 stripes in each lane. And we could apply that up to a week ahead. So that's what we did. We put it out there. And the idea behind the brine is that when winter precipitation falls, it mixes with that brine. That salt in that brine lowers the freezing point of water. And that's what we really want to do. Even if it's a little slushy, that's much better than the ice bonding onto the roadway. That's what we're trying to prevent. Because ice is much different than snow. Snow is light and it gets blown around by the wind, and it's easier to push off than ice. Ice is heavy and dense, and it bonds to the highway, and that's what our pre-treatment is designed to prevent.
Now, Val, your crews are transitioning to 24/7 operations. What does that look like, and what's the plan there?
Basically, in the Fort Worth district, we have approximately 200 vehicles of all sorts of configurations, everything from pickup sanders to plows to the really large 10-yard sanders that go out there and treat our roadways. Approximately 200 personnel that we split in 12-hour shifts to work around the clock until the weather gets warmer. And we will be out there continuously to make the roadways as safe as possible.
Sounds good. Last question here, Val. 3 years ago, we all know that was a historic cold snap. Did you guys learn any lessons from then for now?
Well, each weather winter event is unique in its own way. We kind of look back after each event to see what we can improve on. Recently, here within the last 3 or 5 years, we've become much more aggressive with this brine that we're using, that we pre-treated with. But that's just one tool in the toolbox. We have brine, we have salt, sand, salt-based deicers. These are just tools in the toolbox that our maintenance staff uses for the appropriate situation. Ultimately, we're going to do everything we can, but we also ask that motorists do their part as well. That we realize this is happening during a holiday period, so we're hoping for a reduced amount of traffic on the roadways. We're asking that motorists check updates frequently because conditions can change rapidly. And for those who cannot remain at home, drive to those conditions. Give yourself plenty of time to get your destination and give yourself plenty of space between you and other motorists.
Ooh, thank you so much for your efforts, Val. I know it's going to be very busy for you over the next few hours or so, next 3 days or so as well. That was Val Lopez from TxDOT's Fort Worth District. Thank you, Val.
Thank you, Cleo.